Hey guys, we are here and we are finally at the National Theater here in DC to see Beetlejuice.
We're just a few blocks away from the White House here on Pennsylvania Avenue at the National Theater. This is the pre-Broadway run of Beetlejuice. It's got a fantastic cast. It is led by Alex Brightman, who did the School of Rock on Broadway. It's got Carrie Butler, who's, you know, we just saw her in Mean Girls.
She was
then
great.
The other one I love is Rob McClure. He did Something Rotten, both like on tour. We just saw him recently. He was on Broadway. Stellar cast, and I can't wait to see what they do with this show.
Pretty excited to be here in DC to see Beetlejuice. This is one we've kind of followed for a little bit. Wasn't sure what would happen with this show. Still not exactly sure what to expect.
Have you ever seen the movie?
Yeah, I saw it long enough ago that I don't really remember much about it. I know the whole don't say the Beetlejuice word.
Oh, you just said it. Don't say the B word.
Don't say the B word. The set for this one though looks really amazing. It's got that kind of warped like tomb coffin.
It's very dirty. It's kind of dark.
It's kind of dark. Kind
twisty.
of Tim Burton-esque
Dark
feel
and twisty
to it.
again.
Dark
I'm
and twisty
that.
again.
I've seen a few shows on their pre-Broadway run before they go to New York, and it's interesting to see what changes. So I'm really curious to see this, and I'd love to see it again, but hopefully it's so good they don't make any changes. You know, when I saw the Drowsy Chaperone in LA at the Amundsen before I went to New York, there was this whole piece. It was called the Monkey Ballet. It was kind of very Oklahoma-esque, and it was completely gone by the time it got to New York. So things really can change from a show from pre-Broadway to Broadway.
Note to self, Monkey Ballet equals not good.
No, there's no better night to see it than here on Halloween. We're not really dressed for the occasion, but it'll be good.
We're gonna head in, go check out the show. Alright guys, we just made it to our seats for Beetlejuice, and we are right in the front row. It's kind of amazing. Ready for the show though, here we go. Hey guys. We just got back to the hotel after seeing Beetlejuice at the National Theater. It was pretty awesome. So what was your first?
My first good about this show, wow, the casting of this show was like perfect. Like the characters matched the actors like perfect. I can't think of another word. Honestly, was blown away by this cast. What about you?
They're definitely wonderful. So my number one, shocking for me, is the set. This one's on a whole other level. This is David Corns. David Corns is Dear Evan Hansen, Hamilton. He's done a bunch of different shows, but one of the biggest things that I love about him is that his attention to detail and just how specific everything is. There was nothing that was left undone or unexplored. The main focus of this set is the house, and the house changes based on who is living or not living there at the time, and this felt like everything had a place and everything was in its place. And it wasn't a big deal or extra, it just was what it took to tell the story of Beetlejuice. I can't say enough good things about David Corns and specifically this set. I mean, just wonderful. The set is the show.
You know, that's my number two as well. Like the set, it's gonna win a Tony. I mean, you know, I haven't seen all the other shows in New York yet, but this set blew me away. You know, the other thing about the set though that I really loved, that I feel like the creative team working together, like the set designer coupled with the lighting design, I felt like the lighting like changed the set multiple times. Like it was really neat to see how the smallest little lighting cue could change the whole feeling of a scene and change the whole house completely. I really loved the set, and it's funny, I feel like I'm kind of turning into Bobby a little bit. Like I'm noticing these tiny little details, like the electrical plug on the wall, and it fit the character exactly of the house.
It was the wardrobe or the costuming as well. I mean, they all fit perfectly in with what they were doing and who they were, and this is no small feat. I mean, there are so many kind of like random, like at one point, like everyone in the ensemble looks exactly like Beetlejuice, or at one point they're all skeletons or different things like that. This is not a basic show when it comes to the set or to the costuming, but it was wonderful. It was extended into the props, and it was extended into the costumes, and it was definitely in the set. So just absolutely a spectacle. Probably pretty close to probably one of the best that I've ever seen.
You know, from a spectacle standpoint, definitely.
it was definitely entertaining. So I think my number 2, it's kind of tough to have like a direct number 2, but Alex Brightman has got to be my number 2. We've seen him before in School of Rock and got a chance to chat with him and just talk with him after the show and that kind of thing, and he's just such a wonderful dude. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this guy, but it's funny, I kind of feel like School of Rock was a stepping stone or kind of a gateway drug to this role for him. I mean, you take on a Jack Black role, and then if you get a chance to see Beetlejuice, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's so funny to see him kind of evolve and to kind of step into this next role, and he didn't hold anything back. He was Beetlejuice. I mean, his voice, his hair, his sweat, his spit, his slurring of the words, his tone, I mean, everything and anything, he just gave it all, and that's something that I just loved about multiple times that we've seen him now. He just is the person. And that sounds really silly, that's what actors are supposed to do, right? But that's not always true, and it is 100% true with him. I mean, every time we've chatted with him, he's just so nice and so genuine. He asked us what our names were, shook our hands and talked with us, took a picture. He just connected and was a real human, and you can tell that it takes somebody who has the ability to make those genuine connections to make the genuine connections to a character.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of my favorite actors that we've ever watched and interacted with. So as far as opportunities go, I knew going into the show that it was going to be a little bit crude, probably because Beetlejuice is a demon and that's who his character is. And so I went in expecting,
dead, right?
Yeah, he's dead and he likes to kill people and he does really gross, like he smells, like, you know, you expected some of those things. For me, there were some parts that took it a little too far. Here's the thing though, I still really enjoyed the show, but there was a few times and a few words that were said that I was like, that was a little too much. But I also, you know, the guy next to me was laughing his face off the whole time. So it kind of just depends on your level of comfort with that. But it's definitely not one of those like, take your kids to Frozen and Anastasia family shows. I'm with Lee.
I would say my opportunity in this one is, there were times where the vulgar or crude or, you know, whatever went too far. Too far is relative, and it's going to be different for everybody. There were times where I was right there with him laughing at something that was crude, and there were times where I was like, oh. And for me, it's not necessarily about it being crude, it's about if it fits into the story and progresses the storyline, or if it's just about shock value. And to me, there's a lot in this show that's just about shock value. It's not a single direction of crude humor. It's not like, oh, he's that guy. You don't kind of paint him, he's kind of all of the guys. But I mean, if you know anything about Beetlejuice, that's kind of what this is, especially a modern day retaking of Beetlejuice. There would be people that would be equally mad if they didn't go as far as they did with the vulgarity and with the crudeness and that kind of thing. So, I don't know, it goes both ways for me, but it definitely didn't sit well.
Yeah, that's funny, because I didn't think of it that way. Like, even despite that, it was really fun, and it was perfect for Halloween.
It was definitely a spectacle. I mean, hands down, non-stop. Punches you in the face in the first 10 seconds and just doesn't give up till the very end. Lighting and characters and talent just oozing from the stage, and I mean that in every sense of the word.
It's going to be in New York next spring. I would totally recommend this show. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, I definitely would. Know what you're getting into, probably don't take the kids, that kind of thing, but I mean, this is definitely a 1-2 punch kind of show. I mean, it's got the talent, it's got the tech, it's got the set. There were very few holes when it comes to the show.
Yeah. So, heading to New York tomorrow.
We're gonna go see the Cher show, King Kong, a new show called Prom, and then we're not really sure what the other ones are gonna be. We're gonna kind of see what's available, but excited to go up to New York and check out the fall preview of the shows.
So, keep an eye on our channel for those vlogs.
Yeah, awesome. We'll see you guys in the next one.